Did you know malaria no longer exists in some African countries? And did you know that the most recent malaria report, that was in the year 2022, has it that over 249 million people globally got infected with malaria, leaving over 608,000 death rate. How did this affect Africa at the time? In case you don't know, the African region in 2022 suffered 94% in regards to the number of identified cases, while the death rate was at 78% in the region. Let's do the maths. 94% by 249 million cases globally will result to Africa registering identified cases to stand at 234,060,000. Now, over to the death rate at the time. 78% by 608,000 would leave us to the fact that Africa in 2022 recorded over 474,240 death rate due to malaria. Now, over to the third did you know? Did you know that out of the 54 countries making up Africa, over 4 countries have succeeded in eradicating malaria? I'm talking about Mauritius, Morocco, Algeria, Cabo Verde, popularly known as Cape Verde. They've eradicated malaria. What did these countries, what did they do? What measures were put in place? Well, you're about to find out. My name is Masichi Gloria Nwalkendi, and from me to you, welcome to this edition of the NGN African Network. You're about to find out what these 4 African countries did to eradicate malaria. The first country on the list is Mauritius. Malaria was first introduced to Mauritius in the mid-1800s and was hypercommon until 1948, when the government launched an aggressive campaign to eliminate it using indoor residual spraying. Between 1948 and 1963, the incidence rate declined significantly, with government spending a huge amount to eliminate the mosquito breed responsible for malaria, that is, the Anopheles funestus. Having achieved that milestone, receiving the malaria-free certification from the World Health Organization in 1973, it was not until 1975 when transmission was re-established due to weather situations and careless interventions. But guess what? The Mauritian government swung into action by launching a second elimination campaign from 1982 to 1988, which included focal interventions, widespread larviciding, which is the regular application of chemical or microbial insecticides to water bodies or water containers to kill the aquatic immature forms of the mosquito, and further incorporating an extensive case response system, which also cost them a lot. However, while the government is still spending heavily on a yearly basis, reducing the annual risk of local transmission by approximately 2%. The Mauritian story shows that eliminating malaria requires continuous vigilance and control measures, as well as strong leadership and predictable funding to prevent resurgence. The next country on the list is Morocco. In the year 2010, the World Health Organization gave certification to Morocco for eradicating malaria. But some report has it that the North African country is yet to fully eradicate malaria. But according to this report, it has it that the country has really progressed when it comes to reducing the number of incidents and transmission. Hey, let's look at what measures were put in place by the Moroccan government, either to eradicate, according to the World Health Organization, or to significantly reduce the transmission and incidence rate, according to some other reports. In the 1960s, Morocco launched the National Malaria Control Program, which included spraying insecticides, distributing bed nets, and providing free anti-malarial treatment. By the 1980s, the number of malaria cases in Morocco had declined significantly, with only a few hundred cases reported annually. Also in the 1990s, Morocco launched a new malaria control program, which focused on early detection and treatment of cases, as well as vector control measures such as spraying insecticides and distributing bed nets. Moving forward, in 2002, Morocco launched a national strategy for the elimination of malaria, which aimed to reduce the incidence of malaria to less than 1 case per 1,000 population at risk by 2015. According to the WHO, Morocco had only reported 13 cases of malaria in 2019, down from 1,355 cases in the year 2000. The country further made progress in reducing child mortality due to malaria. While Morocco has made significant progress in controlling and reducing malaria, the Moroccan Ministry of Health and other stakeholders are continuing to implement measures to prevent and control malaria, including conducting surveillance and monitoring for malarial cases, providing anti-malarial treatment to those who need it, distributing bed nets and other vector control measures, conducting public awareness campaigns to educate people about the risks and symptoms of malaria, strengthening health systems and infrastructure to support malaria control efforts. For me, I can't seem to overlook one similarity, which is the willpower by the government to getting something done and seeing something work. That is to say, if the government should have the welfare of the people at heart, then things will definitely work. Now let's quickly, talk about the two other African countries that's gotten certification from the World Health Organization in regards to being malaria-free. Now quickly, let's talk about Algeria. Algeria got declared malaria-free by the World Health Organization in 2019. Algeria, according to report, has a strong healthcare system that extends to remote areas, providing free healthcare services, including malaria prevention, diagnosis, and treatment to all citizens and migrants. The country eliminated indigenous malaria from its northern provinces in 1993 and shifted its focus to the south, where migration from neighboring malaria-endemic countries posed a challenge. It is said that after the completion of the Trans-Saharan Highway in 1977, population movement into the country from neighboring countries led to increased transmission of malaria in Algeria's southern provinces. However, Algeria controlled and prevented sustained transmission of malaria through a robust surveillance system, well-trained health workforce, effective vector control, universal health care, and rapid response to outbreaks. While the country reported its last indigenous case of malaria in 2013, early diagnosis and treatment of all malaria cases are said to be a key component of Algeria's success in eliminating malaria. In addition, national leadership and international partners played a crucial role in Algeria's success. The Ministry of Health, National Institute of Public Health, and Pasteur Institute of Algeria were key partners in implementing and monitoring the country's malaria elimination program, with WHO providing technical support, especially in the last 3-year period leading up to certification and the national government's commitment to fully funding its budget for malaria elimination through domestic financing. Also, regarding the country's maintenance of its malaria-free status, some measures have been put in place, such as setting up a high-quality healthcare system that provides free healthcare services to everyone within its borders, vigilant surveillance and rapid response to suspected cases of malaria, investigation of malaria cases by trained personnel, vector surveillance, and effective oversight by provincial and national health experts, and last but not the least, continuous monitoring and updating of strategies and guidance on malaria elimination and prevention of re-establishment of transmission. With the Algerian case showing us it's not just about the eradication phase. What do you get to do after the eradication phase so you don't go back to the incidence and transmission phase? I mean, this brings me to saying all hands needs to be on deck, not just at a particular time, but every given point in time. Now quickly, let's talk about the last but not the least country that had joined the list of 4 African countries certified as malaria-free by the World Health Organization. I'm talking about the archipelago country. Wondering what archipelago means? It means a country sitting on a large expanse of water with scattered islands. Oh, definitely a vacation destination. I'm talking about none other than Cabo Verde. Yes, most persons know it to be Cape Verde. Well, this country just recently got certification from the World Health Organization. That's early 2024. Now quickly, let's look at what measures were put in place by the Cabo Verde government to make sure, they got this certification from the World Health Organization. According to the Cabo Verde's Minister of Health, Philomena Mendes Goncalves, 5 key steps contributed to the country's success in eradicating malaria. These include providing strong political engagement, such as active support from the government and political leaders, For instance, Cabo Verde included the elimination of malaria in its national health policy in 2007. The next step is the incorporation of surveillance and rapid response, like the provision of a robust surveillance system and swift response to suspected cases, leading to the early detection and further containment of outbreaks. Another measure they employed was multi-sectorial approach. The government, according to reports, worked closely with the community, NGOs and other stakeholders to ensure a coordinated effort. They further practiced international partnership. It is said that Cabo Verde partnered with organizations like WHO and the Global Fund to access expertise, resources and funding. However, after they were done with the elimination phase, considering they were malaria-free certified by the World Health Organization in 2019, diligence took center stage as the country developed a plan to prevent re-establishment, ensuring sustained progress. There you have it. 4 countries already achieved this feat. Now, I'm of the opinion if these countries can achieve this feat, each and every country in Africa can also achieve same results. Yeah. It's high time we start looking inwards. There is more to learn from within ourselves. There's more to be learned from Africa. You know, so it's high time we start looking at what other or neighboring African countries are doing to move ahead. Right. I mean, 4 out of 54 countries, 50 more to go. All we need is the right strategies, right? Collaborations. The time is now. Come on, let's go. This is all on this edition of the NGN African Network. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you get notification on when the next African content drops. Well, with that being said, my name remains Masichi Gloria Nwalkendi. Until next time when I come your way, stay inspired and informed. Bye for now.